Welcome to episode 7 of the Mule Taming series, where we take 2 feral mules and teach them the basics of groundwork. Beginning with Miss Brownie, we're going to start with the colt starting prerequisites. I know I've mentioned it before. I have an entire series out there that show you guys what the colt starting prerequisites are, why they're important, and how to teach them. I've been working with both Brownie and Blondie on all of these for time purposes. I'm kind of going to speed through them and just show you guys how they're doing and how they're progressing. Starting with lateral flexion, you can see that Brownie's doing okay with it. Sometimes she still moves, but overall she is getting better with lateral flexion. With vertical flexion, she's lowering her head very well. She's giving to pressure and doing an overall phenomenal job with it. She's able to yield the hindquarters very well in both directions. She's still struggling a little bit with yielding the forequarters. She still tends to plant her feet sometimes or move around a little too much, but overall we are making progress. As far as backing up, she's getting there. I still have to apply a little bit more pressure than I'd like, but she is starting to become more responsive to my cues as well. She's letting me pick up her front feet as well. She's still not quite comfortable with me working on the hinds, but we've at least made progress with the fronts. The other day I introduced Blondie to the Surcingle. Today it is Brownie's turn. So as I kind of explained when I was using it with Blondie, the Surcingle is a great tool to work with an equine on getting used to being cinched up, having something on their back, and it's just a great step to prepare them for being started under saddle, or in this case, just a great step to prepare them for becoming pack mules. So you can see right here that I'm kind of holding that Surcingle. Brownie's kind of sniffing it. She's looking at it. She's swishing her tail a little bit. She's kind of showing that she's a little nervous about it, but she's not like freaked out or panicked about it. So right here, I go to touch her shoulder with it. I'm kind of slowly just approaching her with it and then taking it away and approaching her with it and taking it away. Then you can see that she's standing. You know, again, she's kind of got her head high. She's a little bit nervous, but she's not panicked. Right here, you can see that she lets me put it right on her back. She doesn't really do anything. She just continues to stand there like a phenomenal girl, and is just accepting it, which I'm actually very, very proud of. So you can see here that I go to walk her forward a few steps to see how she's going to react, because sometimes when you start moving them with stuff on their backs for the first time, they do freak out a little bit more. You can see here that the Surcingle is kind of folded up underneath her. I go to fix it real quick, and she just lets me fix it, and then I go to take it off of that side. So when you are throwing any piece of equipment on an equine for the first time, you want to make sure that you throw it on and take it off from both sides. You can see right here, she lets me throw it on her. The other side kind of smacks her a little bit and she freaks out a little bit, which is okay. Here it goes to fall off of her and she starts moving around. So that was kind of a little bit of a moment where she's like, oh my God, what is that? Which is okay. She didn't really give me a massive reaction. She didn't try and bolt and take off like Blondie did. She just gave me some cues and some signals that she was a little bit nervous about it being thrown over her back and stuff like that. So this time I'm going to do the exact same thing, do some approach and retreat, throw it around by her side, and then I'm going to try and gently put it on her back again, because I don't want her to think that every time it throws on her, it's going to slap her. And so you can see this time she lets me throw it on her back, even though it kind of just, gently bumps her other side. She's not panicking about it. She's not freaking out about it. So overall, I'm very, very pleased with this. And then I go to pull it off of her from the other side as well. She goes to back up a step, which is perfectly okay. Again, this is just her trying to communicate that she's a little bit unsure about what's going on. And I want to make absolutely sure that I'm not pushing her over the threshold or she's freaking out or reaching the point where she's going to shut down. So as long as she's okay and she's not showing any signs that she's about to panic or freak out, then we'll just keep progressing. In just a moment here, I'm going to try to cinch up the Surcingle and see how Brownie reacts to it. You can see that as soon as I go to start reaching my hand underneath her belly to grab the cinch, she starts moving around a lot more. She's starting to swish her ears. She's starting to show me that she's like, I don't know if I like the thought of you being underneath me and grabbing that random piece of equipment. And so she's moving around a lot. I kind of just keep petting her, giving her some love. I'm holding on to that cinch for just a moment to see how she's going to do. And she continues to move, continues to express that she's a little bit uncomfortable with the idea of me doing that, which is okay. Right here, she takes a moment to stop, so I release pressure and I just give her some pets. As I go to try and grab it is when she starts to take off. She pulls that lead rope from my hand, and so this right here is a sign that I'm going to put the Surcingle on her back one more time. We'll work on cinching it up another day, because even though she's doing super duper good, I don't want to push her past that threshold limit like I was just talking about. So I'm going to put it on her back one more time just to continue showing her that the Surcingle is okay. It's not the end of the world. Just end on a positive note and show her that she's doing a great job. I go to pick up the Surcingle. You can see that she's swishing her tail, but other than that, she's not really doing anything too crazy. She lets me put it on her back, so I'm going to give her lots of love, lots of pets for it, and then I'm going to end up calling it a day. Moving on to Blondie. So I did work with Blondie a lot earlier in the day, so the lighting's a little bit different. We're going to start off by just reviewing the prerequisites like I did with Brownie. We have her lunging in both directions like a champ. She's not turning in or trying to stop anymore like she was. Lateral flexion, she's doing a great job giving to pressure. She could be doing it a little quicker than I'd like, but overall she's making progress. Vertical flexion, she's doing a great job at dropping her head when asked. Yielding the hindquarters, she actually has like little to no issues with it. She's also getting better at yielding the forequarters as well. I don't have to apply as much pressure. She's doing okay with backing up. I'm still using a little bit more pressure than I would prefer, but overall we're getting there. She's letting me pick up all 4 feet with little to no issues, so I'm super proud of her for that. As far as desensitizing with both the lead rope and the lunge whip, she's doing phenomenal. Moving on, we're going to go back to working with these Surcingles. So in our last session with the Surcingle, she definitely struggled with it. She was pretty nervous about it, and so I'm going to take this time to just continue trying to work with her on it. You can see I go to pick it up, I put it over my shoulder, and she immediately starts backing up. She's swishing her tail, her ears are kind of darting back and forth, which are all signs that she's trying to communicate that she's uncomfortable with the fact I have the Surcingle on my shoulder or just anywhere within her vicinity. You can see her that she goes to pull, and then she goes to run off. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lunge her a little bit and kind of make her run for a second. She goes to turn in the direction I didn't ask her to go. So I kind of step in front of her, get her to stop, and I'm going to slowly try to approach her again. So I don't want Blondie to start thinking that just because she's afraid means that she can yank the lead rope out of my hand and run around. So if for some reason she is able to yank it out of my hand, the goal is I'm going to make her work a little bit harder, because if she decides to run, then I'm going to make her run. Ultimately, I don't want to reach a point where she feels the need to bolt. You can see right here that she's starting to try and turn around a lot. I'm just standing there. I'm not doing anything. I'm just holding pressure on that lead rope. And when she stops, I'm going to release that pressure. Now that she's stopped and she's facing me, I'm going to start approaching her, and I'm just going to start petting her all over. Right now, I still have the Surcingle on my shoulder, and I have it on my shoulder because it's less threatening, whereas if I were to be coming up to her with the Surcingle directly, it would kind of be a little bit more threatening, a little bit more scary. So I'm going to move it to my other shoulder real quick. You can see that she kind of starts freaking out a little bit. She starts to pull, but she does not yank the lead rope out of my hand and bolt until the second right here when I go to pick it up again. So yet again, I'm going to make her run around a little bit. I do try to step in front of her because she tries to turn. You can't really see it in the frame, and I'm going to make her run for a few extra laps as well. Again, all I'm doing right here, basically what this is showing her, is that if she wants to run, then she's gonna run. If she's gonna run, I'm gonna make it my idea as well, and I'm gonna make her run for a little bit longer. And by letting her kind of run it out a little bit is a good way for her to kind of process what's going on and actually think about it. And you know, over time, the goal is that she doesn't feel the need to run, and I really don't want to push her to the point where she feels like she has to escape and push her over the threshold. So we're going to keep doing this nice and slow, nice and steady. Here we are again. She starts moving around a lot, and she's like, I don't know if I like that on your shoulder. So I'm going to hold pressure on that lead rope. When she stops, I release that pressure. So again, I'm going to try and slowly approach her. I start by just petting her head, and then I'm going to move on to start trying to pet her shoulder and her neck, and all of that stuff as a way to show her, like, look, I know you're afraid, but I'm not going to hurt you. This Surcingle is not going to hurt you. So let's just sit here and stand and get some love and attention. And these are all just ways that I can continue to show her that she's safe with me. I'm not going to beat her. She's not in any danger, and she's actually just 100% safe, even though she doesn't feel very safe. After spending several minutes just petting her and loving her while the Surcingle is on my shoulder and in her presence, I'm going to loop that lead rope around the fence so that we can work on tying. And I also have the Surcingle just hung over the fence as well, so that she can kind of stand there. We can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. She can start to see the Surcingle in a different perspective, as well as continue to work on standing tied. After about 20 minutes of standing tied with the Surcingle, I'm going to attach a plastic bag to the lunge whip, which you can see that I have right here. And I'm going to work on desensitizing Blondie to the plastic bag. She's done great with desensitizing with other things, but I'm starting to realize that when I start to introduce new things to the picture is when she definitely tends to react more. It's when she starts to get a little bit more nervous. And so by trying to add a plastic bag or something else a little bit scary to the picture, I can kind of get an idea for how I can work with her through these issues and through all of this fear that she's having. So you can see right here, she goes to pull that lead rope from my hand. Again, I really don't want her to start learning that every time she pulls the lead rope, she can just run away and, you know, escape. And so I want to make sure that I'm doing this super duper slow, and I want to make sure that I'm not teaching any bad habits in the process. So you can see right here, I'm just standing in the middle of the round pen. I'm waving that plastic bag above my head, and just waving it around so that she can kind of like have her moment of panic, have her moment of freak out. But she, you know, she starts to realize that, okay, the plastic bag's just moving. It's just making weird sounds. There's really no reason for me to run or panic or freak out about it. You can see right here that every time I go to approach her, she kind of starts to go back. I drop that plastic bag for a moment, and I'm going to try and catch her, give her some reassurance, and then I'm going to try and introduce it to her again. Now that I have a hold of her again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that plastic bag close to her. You can see that she starts to move away, which is okay. And then I'm going to move it a little bit closer to her again. And so I'm putting it on the ground because it's less threatening on the ground. It can't really move around in the wind as much. It's just on the ground. And if she wants to keep moving around and just doing these circles, she can keep doing these circles, but that plastic bag is still going to follow her to some extent. When she stops and stands, I'm going to move that plastic bag away from her. This time you can see that I can put it on the ground. She does not try to move, so then I move it away again. And this is basically just like some approach and retreat with a plastic bag, and it's a way that I'm just trying to continue showing her that, look, the plastic bag is next to you, but it's not going to kill you. Right there, she goes to back up a little bit because I did move the plastic bag a little closer. This time I have it raised above the ground. As she goes to try and walk away, I keep stepping in front of her to try and encourage her to stop. Right here, she continues to kind of sidestep around me. I put the plastic bag back on the ground to kind of just give her a moment, take a breather, and I'm going to try and get her to calm down a little bit before bringing that plastic bag back into the picture. So again, right here, I put it on the ground. She goes to move around a little bit, and I'm just going to let her move around. I want to keep showing her that it's okay. The plastic bag's not going to kill her. Right here, she's not trying to bolt or anything. She's just simply trying to move away from the plastic bag. And I just want to make sure that I'm doing a lot of approach and retreat with this. I bring it towards her. When she stands still, I take it away from her. Right here, I'm kind of having her come back to the middle. And I'm just going to keep repeating this process until she's comfortable with the plastic bag at least next to her. The biggest thing when you're training equines, when trying to get them used to new things, is just take it super duper slow, especially if they tend to react more than they think about things, because I don't want her to get hurt. I don't want me to get hurt. And so I don't want to push her over the threshold either and undo all of the hard work that we've already done. So it's important to just take things slow and break things down as much as humanly possible. You know, it may take you a little bit longer, but in the long run, by taking the time that it takes and working at the horse's pace, you're going to get a much more responsive, a much more trusting partner than if you were to just flood them and throw a bunch of random shit at them and let them freak out however they felt necessary. You can see that after just the short time of me working with her on the plastic bag, right here, I'm able to actually bring it up closer to her. I bring it up close. She kind of moves around a little bit, but then I take it away from her, and then I put it up close, and I'm just going to keep doing this, and she's already starting to become a lot more comfortable with the plastic bag, even though she is still trying to move off from time to time. She's not trying to bolt or freak out or anything crazy like that. Even though we haven't made as much progress as I'd like with the plastic bag, she is still letting me approach her with it a lot more. So I'm going to take this moment to work on her head shyness, touch her ears a little bit more, which she is getting better at, although she can still flinch and throw her head a little bit, and just continue to show her that she's doing a great job. Yes, we could have gotten further with the plastic bag, but overall I'm going to reward the try and reward her for at least making a little bit of progress.